People that move to a subdivision do so for only a couple of reasons. Ours were price and location. Great price for the size of the house and great location, since it was just on the edge of Asheville, North Carolina, down by the French Broad River. Once the dead began to walk the earth, the price didn't matter so much anymore. It was all about location.
The Blue Ridge Mountains are a part of the Appalachian Mountain Range, a range that stretches from Georgia up to Maine.
Our neck of the range is in western North Carolina, specifically Asheville, known as the Paris of the South because of its eclectic mix of arts, music, and vacation possibilities. A long-time destination for those that think outside the box, Asheville is surrounded by hollows, hollers, covers, gaps, and valleys filled with generations of hard-working North Carolinians that, while free-thinking and independent, aren't known for their outside-the-boxedness. Conservative through and through, most are used to making it on their own in the best of times. Come the apocalypse, that conservative pragmatism kicks into overdrive and sure comes in handy. This makes for an interesting dynamic in the region. You see, when the dead began to rise from their graves, morgues, funeral homes, and other places, urban dead are supposed to stay dead. They pretty nearly wiped out the progressive, free-thinking population of Asheville. Well, wiped out the living population. The undead population is growing and thriving. Let's hear it for undead progress. This left a few urban survivor pockets, Whispering Pines being one, surrounded not only by a sea of undead, but by multiple groups, families.
Your guess is as good as mine,
James, don't call me Jimmy Stewart, says as he lowers the binoculars and looks over at Weapons Sergeant Sammy John Baptiste.
but I don't think they're part of Vance's group.
No, they aren't, John replies, moving his eye from the scope of his M110 sniper rifle. He looks over at Stewart and frowns. Those aren't crooks.
That's not crime. That's business.
Business? Stewart asks, looking into the binoculars again. What business could they possibly be in, then? John returns his eye to the scope, and they both study the building across the street and above the ruined golf course. The Grove Park Inn. From the early 1990s right up to Z-Day, the GPI was the place for the affluent to stay when vacationing in Asheville, North Carolina. Everyone from F. Scott Fitzgerald to President Barack Obama stayed at the GPI. Artists, actors, diplomats, masters of industry, all called it a temporary home at one point or another. Now the 5-story stone, brick, and wood luxury inn is home to a different element, an unknown element. Z-Day hit Asheville the same day as it hit the rest of the world. No one knows what caused it. A virus was rolled out because of the simultaneous occurrences of the undead rising from graves, beds, morgues, and battlefields. Some said it was a comet that came too close to the Earth's atmosphere. Others said it was God's wrath on the wicked. Whatever caused it, the result was the same. The dead rose and were hungry.
Echo team set?
Set.
Bravo team set?
Boots down and ready.
Just say set.
Set.
Cadillac team set?
Set.
Alpha team is in place, Foster says. On my mark, we take the facility. Keep it tight and go for body shots. We don't know who is hostile and who is just caught up in this. The job is to rescue the targets, not kill the staff.
Roger. Roger. Copy that.
Foster holds up a fist and then 3 fingers. She drops 1, 2, and 3. Mark, we are a go. Her Alpha team of private military contractors decked out in black body armor and night vision goggles, M4s to their shoulders, rushed to the side door that their point man just blew. Foster, a woman of average height and build, but with piercing ice blue eyes behind her goggles, pivots left, then right, as she is the first through the door. She steps left, and the teammate behind her follows and steps right. They clear the room and keep moving. Over their radio comms, they hear more doors being blown, then gunfire as one of the teams makes contact. "Report!" Foster shouts. 3 security guards are down, Joseph says. Joe T. Tennant, commander of Echo Team 5, responds. But we have more coming. Position, Foster asks as she moves from the first room and into the second. The rooms are paneled in faux wood, with thrift shop desks and file cabinets pushed up against the walls. Foster knows the facility cost millions to build and wonders where that money went. "We are in the West Corridor," Joe T. replies. "This place looks like a set from the 70s. Ah, yes, good old Whispering Pines. That was the subdivision we'd lived in when the zombie apocalypse hit. Turned out not to be such a bad place to hole up in when a few thousand zombies come looking for a snack. With the other residents of Whispering Pines, and by other residents I mean those that lived past the first couple weeks of zombie hell,
We fortified the whole subdivision with razor wire and trenches. We even built a huge gate across the front to keep the Z's out, as well as other less than savory elements that wanted to take our shit and kill our families during the apocalypse. The Homeowners Association, HOA, was run by Brenda Kelly before it all went to 10 kinds of hell. Long story short, bad guys kept showing up, and our little slice of Americana turned into a scorched nightmare, and then a radioactive wasteland. And Brenda Kelly died, but she was an evil bitch and kind of deserved it. Okay, that's not 100% accurate. She totally deserved to die. No kinda about it. That little slice of Americana I mentioned was called Asheville, North Carolina. Tucked away in the Blue Ridge Mountains, Asheville was known for being a vacation destination pre-Z. Post-Z? Not so much. Unless you were an egomaniacal madman or zombie herd. They were totally about hitting Asheville for the weekend to kill all the living folk. Fucking tourists. We tried to rebuild, but outside elements weren't too keen on that idea and kept getting all, "We have big guns and helicopters, bang bang, pew pew, kaboom," and shit. The last straw. Meetings are fun. So fucking fun. Sorry, I really shouldn't knock meetings. I mean, meetings are what has saved us from the zombie hordes all these years during this fucking apocalypse, right? No, they have not. Fucking meetings. Jace, Stella asks, "Did you hear me?" Huh? I reply. Oh, yeah, sure. No, you didn't, Stella grumbles. Sorry, I was just thinking about how much I love meetings. I smile. None of us love meetings, Long Pork, Critter snaps. But what the hell else are we going to do when we're camped at night? Play fucking charades? You have one hand, you moron. You can't even tap your wrist to mime 2 syllables. Mimes, man. Mimes, I respond. Let's call it a night and get some sleep, Stuart sighs as he stands up and stretches. We have a long haul tomorrow, and if it's like the past few weeks, we have a lot of actual hauling, too. Ha! I snort. I see what you did there, because we have to haul all the stupid fucking trucks and cars out of the way just to get down the road. Honey, Stella asks, looking worried. Are you feeling okay? What? Yeah, I'm fine, I say. Super fine. Super duper fine. Ain't nothing but a chicken wing here. I puke. All over Stella's lap. Shit. Those don't look like chicken wings. I think that's squirrel. God damn it, Long Pork, Critter yells. You know that thing you see on TV shows and movies where someone has their skull cracked open by a neurosurgeon, and there's like this draped sheet that halos their head while nurses and other doctors stand around and point and make serious-sounding comments about the patient's exposed brain? And you know how they all ask the patient questions, because the patient has to be awake so they can make sure they don't short-circuit his brain? Also, since the brain doesn't feel pain, the doctors and nurses can poke around all they want, and said patient won't piss himself while screaming. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I really wish that scenario was real. I sure as fuck do. Because the scenario I'm in now is nowhere near as fun. Not even close, folks. Nope, not at all. You see, while there are certain similarities to the movie/TV version, there are a lot more differences. Such as? Okay, well, first there are no nurses standing behind me. There are 2 doctors, but one of them is kind of a mad scientist dickhole, and the other is a guy I just met that is crushing on my underage motherfucker daughter. The other people standing there are all holding lanterns and flashlights, so the 2 doctors don't slice my brain pan in bad ways. None of the light holders have any medical experience, but they are making plenty of comments. I think your brain is your best-looking part, Short Pork, Critter Fitzpatrick snorts. They should cut off a slice and glue it to your face. Quiet, please, Dr. Kramer says. He's the mad scientist dickhole. I don't like him. Don't call him Short Pork, Stella snaps. That's my wife.